Some people spend years sitting in the waiting room of their own life, waiting for someone to love them, understand them, or finally make them happy. But what if the door you are waiting for another person to open has always been in your hands? Today, you will learn how to stop waiting and begin creating a beautiful life of your own. 1. Stop giving people control over your happiness. When your happiness depends on someone's attention, approval, or presence, you quietly place your emotional life in their hands. A kind message can make your entire day, while their silence can leave you questioning your worth. This is dangerous because people are human. They become distracted, their feelings change, and sometimes they fail to keep their promises. If your peace rises and falls with their behavior, you will constantly feel emotionally exhausted. Allah never intended your heart to survive only on temporary human attention. People can support you, love you, and add beauty to your journey, but they should never become the foundation of your happiness. Take back the power you have unknowingly given away. Stop measuring your value by who calls, who stays, or who understands you. Begin each day with gratitude. Strengthen your connection with Allah and remind yourself that rejection cannot reduce the worth He placed within you. When Allah becomes the deepest source of your peace, people's behavior may disappoint you, but it will no longer have the power to destroy you. 2. Build a life you are excited to wake up to. Do not spend your life waiting for another person to arrive and make everything feel meaningful. If every day feels empty without someone's attention, the real problem may not be loneliness. It may be that you have stopped building a life that belongs to you. Allah has given you abilities to develop, responsibilities to fulfill, dreams to pursue, and countless blessings to appreciate. Begin creating days that contain purpose. Care for your health, learn something beneficial, improve your character, strengthen your faith, and work toward goals that make you proud of your progress. Even small actions can bring your heart back to life when they are repeated with sincere intention. Happiness does not always arrive through a dramatic change. Sometimes it grows quietly through a peaceful morning, meaningful work, regular prayer, and gratitude for what you already possess. Become an active participant in your own life instead of waiting for someone to rescue you from emptiness. When you build a life filled with purpose and closeness to Allah, another person's presence becomes a beautiful addition, not the reason you want to wake up. 3. Learn to enjoy your own company. Being alone does not mean you are unwanted, forgotten, or missing something essential. Sometimes Allah allows people to become distant because constant noise has prevented you from listening to your own heart. Solitude can feel uncomfortable at first because it reveals the thoughts and wounds you have been avoiding. But it can also become the place where your deepest healing begins. Instead of immediately reaching for someone whenever silence appears, learn to sit peacefully with yourself. Read, reflect, walk, pray, develop a skill, and discover the activities that genuinely bring you peace. Use this quiet season to understand your emotions, correct unhealthy habits, and strengthen your relationship with Allah. The goal is not to reject people or pretend that companionship is unnecessary. It is to stop accepting harmful relationships simply because you are frightened of being alone. When you become comfortable in your own company, you begin choosing people from wisdom instead of desperation. You no longer chase attention to escape emptiness because your private life already contains faith, purpose, growth, and peace. Then solitude stops feeling like punishment and becomes a powerful space in which Allah rebuilds you. 4. Release your expectations from people. Many of the wounds you carry were not caused only by what people did, they were also caused by what you silently expected them to do. You expected them to notice your effort, understand your silence, remember your kindness, and remain loyal because you had been loyal to them. When they failed to respond in the way you imagined, disappointment entered your heart. You began asking painful questions. Why did they not care as much as I cared? Why did they forget everything I did for them? Why was I available for them when they were never available for me? These questions can consume your peace because you are demanding perfect treatment from imperfect human beings. People have different hearts, abilities, priorities, and levels of awareness. Some will appreciate you deeply, while others may never understand the value of what you gave. Releasing expectations does not mean accepting disrespect, tolerating abuse, or allowing people to repeatedly take advantage of your kindness. You still need boundaries, wisdom, and self-respect. It means that you stop making your emotional stability dependent on receiving a particular response from another person. You can communicate your needs honestly without believing that someone must fulfill every need for you. You can love people sincerely without expecting them to read your mind. You can help someone without creating a secret agreement in your heart that says, because I did this for you, you must now do the same for me. Silent agreements create loud disappointments. If you never expressed an expectation, do not punish someone for failing to understand it. Before you do something for another person, examine your intention. Are you helping because it is right and pleasing to Allah, or because you want praise, loyalty, attention, or repayment? When your intention is connected to Allah, people's reactions lose much of their power over you. They may forget your kindness, but Allah does not forget. They may never thank you, but your reward was never limited to their gratitude. They may even misunderstand your sincere actions, but Allah knows what was inside your heart. This awareness protects you from becoming bitter when your goodness is not returned. You continue being kind, but you become wiser about where, how, and to whom you give your energy. Sometimes you expect one person to provide everything your heart needs. You want them to understand every emotion, heal every wound, remove every insecurity, and remain constantly available. No human being can carry that responsibility without eventually failing. Even the most loving person has limitations. They become tired, distracted, overwhelmed, and unable to give what you need at every moment. When you place someone in a position that belongs only to Allah, you create pressure for them and pain for yourself. Love people, appreciate their presence, and accept the comfort they offer. But remember that they are companions on your journey, not the source of every answer, every hope, and every form of peace. You must also stop comparing how people treat you with how you treat them. Your heart may naturally give more, forgive faster, remember details, or express love differently. Their inability to return affection in your preferred way does not always mean they do not care. Sometimes people love according to what they have learned, not according to what you need. Communicate clearly before assuming the worst. If someone repeatedly ignores your needs or crosses your boundaries, you are allowed to step back peacefully. Distance does not always require hatred, revenge, or a dramatic confrontation. You can accept that someone is unable to meet you with the same sincerity and still leave the matter with Allah. There is tremendous freedom in accepting people as they are, instead of constantly suffering because they are not who you hoped they would become. Pay attention to their consistent actions rather than falling in love with their potential. Stop exhausting yourself trying to force maturity, loyalty, or compassion into someone who refuses to develop it. You can advise them, pray for them, and treat them with dignity, but you cannot control their heart. Your responsibility is to protect your character and make choices that preserve your faith and peace. Their responsibility is what they do with the opportunities Allah gives them. Releasing expectations also teaches you to notice blessings instead of focusing only on what is missing. When you stop demanding that people behave perfectly, you become more grateful for the sincere love they are able to offer. You appreciate the person who checks on you, the friend who listens, the relative who quietly supports you, and the stranger who shows unexpected kindness. Gratitude makes relationships lighter because you are no longer keeping a painful record of everything you gave and everything you believe you are owed. You learn to receive goodness without turning it into entitlement. Your heart becomes peaceful when you understand this truth. People may disappoint you, but their disappointment does not have to destroy you. Give without losing yourself, love without abandoning your boundaries, and forgive without repeatedly returning to the same harm. Expect your deepest reward from Allah, because He sees every sacrifice, every sincere intention, and every tear you concealed from the world. When you release unrealistic expectations from people, you do not become cold, you become emotionally free. You can appreciate those who stay without making them responsible for your entire happiness. And you can survive those who leave without believing that your life has lost its meaning. 5. Become whole before someone joins your life. Many people enter relationships hoping another person will repair everything that feels broken inside them. They believe love will remove their insecurity, silence their loneliness, restore their confidence, and give their life meaning. At first, someone's attention may make those wounds feel smaller, but attention cannot permanently heal what you refuse to face. When the excitement becomes normal or the other person becomes busy, the hidden emptiness returns. You may then demand more reassurance, become afraid of every small change, and interpret ordinary distance as rejection. This is why you must begin healing before asking someone else to carry the weight of emotions you have never learned to manage. Becoming whole does not mean becoming perfect or reaching a point where you never need support. Everyone needs companionship, encouragement, and sincere human connection. Wholeness means knowing who you are, even when nobody is praising you. It means possessing a purpose that continues when someone is unavailable, and maintaining your relationship with Allah, whether people stay or leave. You can appreciate love without becoming addicted to attention. You can miss someone without losing control of your life. You can experience disappointment without allowing it to destroy your identity. This inner stability changes the way you enter every relationship, because you are no longer searching for someone to rescue you from yourself. Begin by honestly examining the wounds you carry. Perhaps you were abandoned, ignored, betrayed, constantly criticized, or made to feel that you were never enough. These experiences can quietly influence your present choices. You may chase emotionally unavailable people because their distance feels familiar. You may tolerate disrespect because you fear that setting a boundary will make someone leave. You may become overly attached to anyone who shows you kindness because affection was missing from your past. Healing requires you to recognize these patterns without feeling ashamed of them. What happened to you may explain your fears, but it does not have to control the rest of your life. Bring those wounds to Allah with complete honesty. You do not need perfect words when making dua. You need a sincere heart. Tell Allah what frightens you, what still hurts, and what you are struggling to release. Ask Him to remove unhealthy attachments, strengthen your self-respect, and guide you toward choices that protect your faith. Healing is not always a sudden moment in which every painful feeling disappears. Often it is a gradual process of choosing what is healthy, even when your old emotions pull you toward what is familiar. Every time you refuse to chase someone who repeatedly disrespects you, you are healing. Every time you choose prayer over panic and patience over desperation, you are becoming stronger. You must also build an identity that is larger than your relationship status. You are not valuable only when somebody chooses you, calls you, or promises to remain beside you. Your worth begins with the one who created you. Allah gave you a mind to develop, a character to refine, responsibilities to fulfill, and gifts that should not remain buried while you wait for another person. Invest in your education, health, family, worship, work, and personal growth. Find beneficial interests that bring energy into your days. Create goals that require discipline and awaken your potential. When your life contains purpose, you will not expect one person to become your entire world. Learn emotional responsibility before seeking emotional security from someone else. This means understanding your feelings instead of immediately blaming others for them. When jealousy appears, ask what fear is hiding beneath it. When you feel ignored, determine whether you have communicated clearly or simply expected someone to understand your silence. When anger rises, pause before speaking words that cannot be taken back. Emotional maturity does not mean suppressing every feeling. It means expressing feelings without using them as weapons. A healthy relationship needs two people who can communicate with honesty, listen without becoming defensive, and accept responsibility when they cause harm. Becoming whole also requires boundaries. Some people believe love means giving endless chances, tolerating repeated disrespect, and sacrificing their peace to prove their loyalty. But love without wisdom can become self-neglect. A boundary is not revenge, it is a clear statement about what you will and will not allow in your life. You can forgive someone and still recognize that closeness with them is harmful. You can care about someone while refusing to participate in manipulation, dishonesty, or emotional confusion. When you develop healthy boundaries before entering a relationship, you become less likely to abandon your values simply because you are afraid of being alone. Do not rush into someone's arms simply because solitude feels uncomfortable. Loneliness can make ordinary attention look like extraordinary love. It can convince you that any relationship is better than no relationship, even when your heart is constantly anxious within it. A temporary season of being alone is far safer than attaching yourself to someone who weakens your faith, disturbs your peace, or repeatedly questions your worth. Use solitude as preparation rather than punishment. Allow Allah to teach you patience, discernment, and contentment so that when someone enters your life, you can recognize whether their presence brings genuine peace or merely temporary excitement. A healthy companion should not replace your relationship with Allah, separate you from your purpose, or become the only reason you feel alive. They should encourage your growth, respect your boundaries, and support the person you are becoming. In the same way, you must be prepared to offer those qualities to them. Do not ask for emotional maturity while refusing to work on your reactions. Do not demand honest communication while hiding your true feelings. Do not pray for a peaceful companion while carrying uncontrolled anger into every disagreement. Prepare yourself to become the kind of person you are asking Allah to place in your life. There is a profound difference between choosing someone and needing them to survive emotionally. When you choose someone, your love comes from sincerity, respect, and shared purpose. When you desperately need them, fear begins controlling the relationship. You may overlook warning signs, silence your own needs, or accept behavior that slowly breaks you because losing them feels unbearable. Wholeness removes this desperation. It allows you to love deeply while remembering that your life, identity, and future remain in Allah's hands. You stop holding people so tightly that love becomes fear. If someone eventually leaves, the pain may still be real. Wholeness does not make you emotionless. It gives you the strength to grieve without permanently losing yourself. You may cry, miss what you had, and need time to heal, but you will remember that one departure cannot erase the life Allah has given you. Your worship continues, your purpose remains, and new doors can still open. You understand that being rejected by one person does not mean you have been rejected by Allah. Sometimes a painful ending is the protection that saves you from spending years in the wrong place. Become the source of stability you once searched for in other people. Keep your promises to yourself, care for your body and mind, speak to yourself with dignity, and build habits that support the future you desire. Most importantly, strengthen your trust in Allah until your heart knows that whatever He removes cannot take away what He has written for you. Then, when the right person arrives, you will welcome them from a place of peace rather than desperation. You will not ask them to complete you. You will invite them to share a life already filled with faith, direction, gratitude, and purpose. The most beautiful relationships are not formed by two empty hearts demanding to be filled. They are formed by two growing people who understand that Allah is their foundation and companionship is one of His gifts. Work on your heart before asking someone to protect it. Heal your patterns before carrying them into another person's life. Become peaceful enough to recognize healthy love and strong enough to walk away from what only looks like love. When you become whole before someone joins your life, you no longer search for a person who can save you. You trust Allah, build your happiness with intention, and allow the right companionship to arrive as a blessing, not as your only reason for living. Your life was never meant to remain on hold while you waited for someone to notice you, choose you, or make you feel complete. People may add love and beauty to your journey, but they should never become the only reason you feel alive. Begin building your happiness with what Allah has already placed within you: faith, purpose, strength, gratitude, and the ability to grow. Take back the peace you handed to people. Create days that make you grateful to wake up, enjoy your own company, release the expectations that keep hurting you, and become whole before asking someone else to join your life. When Allah becomes the foundation of your heart, you can love people without losing yourself and survive their departure without losing your direction. Perhaps nobody is coming to rescue you because Allah is teaching you that with His help, you already possess the strength to rebuild. So stop waiting. Begin living, healing, and creating a life so meaningful that another person's presence becomes a blessing, not a necessity. May Allah fill your heart with contentment, protect your peace, heal every hidden wound, and guide you toward a life filled with genuine happiness and barakah. If this reminder touched your heart, share it with someone who has been postponing their happiness. Subscribe to Success with Barakah, and remember, your happiness begins when you stop waiting for others and start trusting what Allah can build through you.